I've never played Into the Breach before. I don't know what kind of game it is. I do know that it's from the developers of FTL, which we played briefly on stream for a bonus stream, about 4 hours. And I liked FTL a lot, so that makes me excited for the way this game's going to play. I'll take a look at the options first to see if there's anything I need to set. That all looks fine to me. New game. I don't know if it's also a roguelike or what the deal is. Mission failed. Open a breach. Rift Walkers, Time Travelers. Oh, that's cool. 2 bonus XP per kill. Rename pilots. Only get this pilot. Combat mech, cannon mech, artillery mech. Rename, change color. That's cool. Alright, I'm already on board. Normal difficulty designed to provide an interesting challenge to new and experienced players. Reduce enemy spawn rate, scores reduced 50%. Now, I think that the advice for playing FTL was to start on easy, because that was actually still fairly difficult. And I'm not sure if that remains true for Into the Breach, but I guess we'll start it on normal. If we die, we can always change it later. But it changed squad. I can only pick Rift Walkers. I love this. This is the way a lot more games should begin. I feel like you want to open too many games with, here's a billion choices about things you have no idea what the meaning of any of them are yet. Alright, let's give it a start. Corporate Islands are the Vex breeding ground. Wipe them out here. We save the world. We only have one choice. Archive Inc. Museum Island recreates old Earth as it was before the oceans rose and wiped out humanity. Cool. I dig this setting. In the future, you'll find our island is even further back in time than you expected. That's a pretty great opening line. Not for the Vec, I'd have loved to give you a tour of the old Earth relics. Yeah. Options are fine, but you have to be careful in how you introduce them. And there's a way to overgate. Like, Final Fantasy 13 has that problem, apparently, with the infamous 25-hour tutorial. But you definitely don't want to open with, here's 50 things to pick from. And you're like, oh my god, I don't know what any of that is. Yeah, so let's start the simulation. Oh, is it like a tactical RPG? Turn-based? Power grid, whenever a building's damage, it'll be reduced. If it's reduced to 0, you lose. Okay. Every enemy attack is forewarned. Next turn, this one will attack the buildings. Alright, I like perfect information. Hover over the enemy to see details about its attack. It projects how much damage it's going to do. This is your combat mech. It can punch any adjacent tile. Click on your mech, move it close to the enemy, and punch him. Very straightforward. What kind of weapon to use it? The number keys will also work as a shortcut. This is awesome so far. Your mech push the unit. It will now target a new location. There's some cool design space around that. Pushes can save buildings from enemy attacks or make it to enemies to attack each other. Naming a weapon or examining an enemy attack, icons show you what will happen. Thank you. Arrow on a tile means the unit on that tile will be pushed. Number on a tile means the unit on that tile will be damaged. Push plus damage can do both. All of your mechs have used an action, or there's nothing left for your units to do. Press this button to end your turn. Cool. Enemy activity attacks a nearby mountain. Oh, cool. Threatened. Let's see. So it's showing that this thing is about to attack me, and it's highlighting threatened objects from the enemy's expected turn. That's cool. I like that it's asymmetrical, where I know what they're going to do. This is your tank mech. Choose a projectile that travels in a straight line until it hits another object. Let's see what they're suggesting here. Shoot. Of course. Oh, they leave it up to you to decide what to do there. That's pretty awesome. And finish punching this thing. I like that there's no chance to miss. Yeah. Oh, I love perfect information in tactical RPGs. That's fun. I like this so far. I like the graphics, too. And there's a finite number of turns in each combat. Artillery weapons can shoot over obstacles like mountains, but can't shoot adjacent tiles. Only damage units on the center tile, while units on adjacent tiles are pushed. I see. Well, presumably I won't ever friendly fire my own buildings. Oh, I think I can friendly fire my own buildings, but because buildings can't be pushed, it's a cool use of the push design space. So what happens if they fall in the water? They die. This unit fell in the water, killing it instantly. Rad. Okay, I get it. I like how they stop holding your hand after they establish the simple stuff. Count on you to figure it out. He still has an action, but he has nothing to use it for. Yep, that's fine. I guess I could have moved the tank into position better. Okay. So, none of them are easily knocked into water this time, unfortunately. So I have to try to protect my buildings, primarily. So, let's see. Can't reach this one to attack it. So what I think I have to do... Oh, it can only target... I understand. Okay. So what we need to do is move like here first, and then I should be able to do it. I can push it away without damaging anything, because this won't be enough to kill it. So I think I want to push it out of the way. But I don't think that my tank's ability is piercing. So, it's hard. Now it's just attacking nothing, but I can move past it now. Okay, right on, so I can save that other building. Gotcha. Try shooting this, push it away, which will save my building again. Okay, gotcha. Let's punch this bug, which also saves me from taking damage, and that's it for my turn. It doesn't have the longevity of FTL? Okay. The how long to beat is way shorter. Every mission you win by defeating the Vec or fighting them until they retreat. Victory in 4 turns. Gotcha. Bonus objectives: kill all enemies before they retreat, rewards you with additional resources. Is this game in early access? Is it finished? Your mechs will automatically repair all damage after battle. If a mech is reduced to 0 health, the pilot dies and the mech is disabled. Yeah, okay. As long as they're not reduced to 0, it's fine and nothing happens. Let's punch the shit out of this bug. For sure. Okay, so we totes want to try to blow that up over there. Awesome. And then we want to blow this guy up. We can kill that in 1 hit. I really dig the design space of this game so far. There's a lot of cool stuff they can do with it. And then this thing's gonna take some damage, but that's okay. Threatened. Let's finish off this bug. Like the whole melee does 1 extra point of damage. I like small damage numbers at the end of the day. Stuff can get a little bit too complicated sometimes when you're... damage numbers are too high. Not as replayable as FTL, sure. Is it that the roguelike element is less explored? It doesn't explore its design space as far? Riftwalkers are heroes. Oh, not enough RNG. I see. Huh. Never really think about a game that doesn't have enough RNG, right? Damage power grid. Connects every corporate island. Any damage it takes in missions will persist. If that caused damage before you arrive, there'll be opportunities to restore it. I see. Every mission has different potential rewards for completing bonus objectives. You won't be able to do every mission on the island, so choose carefully. Right, I was about to say not everything needs to be super replayable, and if, like, sometimes that can expose how little actual meat there is in your game if the only meat comes from randomness. Grid power, search your power grid. Power cores upgrade your mechs. Actually, this system is very similar to Renowned Explorers, which this game came out a little bit after. I wonder if it was inspired by it at all. Because Renowned Explorers was inspired by FTL. Check the coal plants. Got a few old Earth jets in the air. People aren't the most skilled pilots yet, but they're getting the hang of it. Let's try it. Right. Yeah, randomness can definitely be a good thing. This is a shield that will block damage and any negative effects. Fire, freezing, acid. Only direct damage will remove the shield. Non-damaging negative effects have no effect. Okay, that's cool. This mission has a special effect that will happen every turn. Bombs will be dropped on the marked spaces, killing any unit. Okay. Presumably those are the yellow spaces. Oh wait, no, the yellow spaces are the only places I'm allowed to drop. Gotcha. See you, Doom Pastry. Thanks for popping in. Hundreds of people are in those buildings. Make sure they stay standing. Okay. Oh, certainly they're... Oh, you can temporarily block enemies from spawning, but it will damage the blocking unit. That's cool. Okay. Okay, I understand. So he's currently standing in the airstrike zone, so we need to get him out of there. We want to try to knock the other enemies into the airstrike zone if we can. So let me try moving back here first. I can't move into an adjacent space with that creature. Oh, getting pushed into a building damages it? I did not know that. Shoot. Alright, well in that case, let's see if I can move him here maybe? But I'm not going to be able to knock him into the airstrike zone at all. I see. Shit. Can I move him further? Do I only get one move? Oh, I only get one chance to move them. Undo move. Thank you, game. Good looking out. But I'd have to be several squares away to be able to knock either of them. I guess I could go here to knock one into the death zone. But I think I knock him into this if that happens. Let me see how it plays out. I think that's saying that it will destroy the shield bubble if I do that way. Now, if I attack, I can't move after attacking, right? Presumably. And that's gonna knock him into the building back there. I see. Tricksy, very tricksy. So I think the way I started this level was incorrect in a lot of ways. Push it back. It's definitely correct to start with, if nothing else. Can maybe try pushing one of these enemies back, but I gotta get him out of the death zone. Appreciate that, Donovan. So if I land in this square, I'm going to push him into my bubble, which I want to avoid. But that's the only way I can push anyone into one of these things, so I'm going to try doing this here. Pushing things into things deals 1 additional damage to both. Okay. So this next turn is going to be bad. Look, he's not attacking a town, so that's okay. Gotcha. We lost a bubble, and presumably I can't get bubbles back too, so I have to keep that in mind. It's almost what she would have done. Alright, so now let's think about our choices. I can't knock anybody into those squares. I need to take out both of these guys. I'm in pretty significant danger. I may as well go knock this bug back, although that's gonna hit the shield. I like the choices they make you make in this game. Very clever. I can kill one of the bugs. I'll try that. Okay. Oh, I can't move him far enough to be able to do that shit. That's a bummer. But the cannon can strike from further away, so hold on. If I move him here, I can do this, which then knocks it into the death zone. Gotcha. Forest took damage turning into a fire. If unit stands on fire, will ignite and take damage every turn. Cool. Okay, so I can... This one can take damage because of the bubble. This one can't. Now is this... This doesn't push them, right? Oh, it does. Nice. Right, and then they just died, so the airstrike didn't matter. Gotcha. Very cool. Very cool. I don't think I could move the mech that far, but you might be right, Retro. New ads. So what this thing does, gives them like 2 temporary hit points or something. Soldier Scion. What's your deal? Vex Scion provides a passive bonus to all Vec, killing it removes the bonus. Gotcha. Very cool, okay. Then, let's see. This thing's gonna die in its turn, so I can basically ignore him, but I do have to deal with these two. So I could blow up this guy and then push him into a mountain, which I think is gonna do damage to him if I understand correctly. And it'll protect the... That's awesome. This game is great. I like this one very much. I'm big into perfect information in games. You don't need to have it, obviously, but I think it works in this one. It's fine. Bonus objective, protect the coal plant. Okay. Web's blocking the servos. So that's a new status effect. Sooner has been webbed. Mouse over the status icons in the bottom left. Massive units can walk in water, but water will prevent shooting. Units webbed by the Vec can't move, but they can still attack. I see. Okay. So I can maybe knock those guys away. And the other enemy is in kind of a safe location. Cool. And that breaks the web. Gotcha. That's neat. That's pretty neat. Oh, but now this guy is probably blocking my shot, is that right? He is. This is an advantage of this thing, that it doesn't block shots, so I should have moved him earlier. I can only undo moves, I guess, but that makes sense. Let's kill the bug, I guess, first. Well, this one will be more overall damage, because then my tank will be able to kill the little bug next turn. Let's do this instead. You get a move reset per territory. Wait, did I just move him into range of this thing? I totally did. Look at that. Living the dream. It's pretty rad. 3 cheers for the Riftwalkers. Nice. We get some power grid back. Cool. It's pretty awesome. Okay, so I'll get engineers working on 2 old Earth tanks. They should be up and running shortly after you arrive. Defend the tanks. Flying combat mech. Ah, I'm guessing the little pop-up next to it says they can't do anything just yet at the start of the battle. Let's do this, I think. Let's try that instead. Let's see what they do when they first move. Incoming time pod, excuse me. Old space capsules. I don't recognize the ally. How unusual. This contains equipment from the future. You can collect it with your mech or just defend it until the end of the battle. That's pretty cool. It's a neat way to give you different goals. Alright, so I can't walk down there to reach the thing that I need to reach. I can try pushing this guy back to do some damage. My player placement is kind of unfortunate here. So I'll do this and knock him into it. Guessing I do damage to the buff before I actually damage him for real, which is unfortunate. Ooh, that was actually a mistake, wasn't it? Because now I can't... Now he's gonna end up attacking this building instead. Okay. Oh well. Well, I know for next time now. Because I can't knock him back the other way. I don't think I have another solution right now. Oh well. "84 casualties. Building stood tall for hundreds of years. Primary goal is to prevent this. Working on it, sorry. Good to see what happens when I screw that up at least." Just web my tank, which is a bummer. We don't want that. Let's see. Knock one of them into the water. The other one gets knocked into my tank, which I think is bad, right? Think about how I want to do this. So this time the tank can kill this thing, so why don't I just open by doing that? Seems correct. How's it going, Serp? Alright, that blows up the tank, so that's not an acceptable solution. So I can move him so I can defend the tank. Let's try that. Punch. And then I might be able to, well... I can push this one into the water for a free kill. I may as well just do that from where he's currently standing. Awesome. Stay a little older than the ocean floor for us. Seems like a cool setting, too. All water world. Oh, he died because he pushed him on top of a space where an enemy was about to spawn. That's cool. And now an enemy is about to spawn in fire, which is also something we can do. Now I can use the tanks. Gotcha. Presumably I can knock him into the water. Perfect. The Vec aren't amphibious. It'll be dead before it touches bottom. This thing back. Should just be a kill. And we try to prepare where the enemies are going to be next turn. I think I'll just wait with the rest of my actions now. I like them exploring you having as part of your mission, you can get new characters partway into the stage. That's clever. He's already on fire. Alright, so we gotta kill this thing. Or at least push him out of the way. That might be easier said than done, though. I have to be careful about hitting this enemy here. This is gonna push him into my tank, and then the tank will be dead. So, let's think about this. Does 2 damage to both of those enemies. De-web him, maybe. Oh, but that's gonna hit the tank because it's gonna push him forward as well? Shit. I didn't think about that today. And that's going to push my tank into the water. Wow. Okay. How do we do this the right way? This is challenging. I guess I move him back, first and foremost. I can move him into the foot. I should have moved this tank on his turn, instead of letting him stand still there. Because that's getting me into a lot of trouble, everybody moving in all directions. I think that's actually what's going to get me killed here, unfortunately. Push him back, which breaks the web there. And this guy has 2 hit points left, so if I can hit him with the flak thing and with this guy, then I think I can finish him off. So let's try to do that in a way that's not stupid. Okay. This game's almost like a puzzle game. I really like it. Oh, but I didn't kill him in the process. Shit. And then this is on fire now, so tank's gonna die. Bummer. Bummer. I don't get the bonus objective. One loss. Protected the time pod, though. Pod recovered. It's like a loot box, basically? That's awesome. Reactor cores can be used to upgrade your mech between missions. Okay. Open a mech's upgrade screen to install it. Core installation. Maximum reactor power by 1. Improve your weapons or power additional weapons. So I would like to know what they actually do here. Charge any distance before punching a target. Increase damage by 2. Will no longer damage grid buildings. Oh. It's 2 damage. And this just flat upgrades the damage. Okay, I could see that being valuable. This game is really cool. It definitely speaks to me. Can use reactor power to activate. Ah, I see. But it costs 2. Now they all cost 2? No, this one only costs 1, so I'd have to save. And I don't get any part of it until I fully unlock it, right? I guess I can get +1 move or +2 health. Sure. So we'll undo it for now until I get another one. I'm guessing I can't repeat a mission once I screw it up. Okay, gotcha. Check the power generator. Refuge living in preserved 21st century cities is not what the Archive founders intended, but we need to shelter everyone as best we can. Cool. So what does that buff actually do? I guess I'll try to look at it after I place enemies. I don't think I can see it before then. Okay, put you here. Put you here. I guess put you here. Invigorating spores, what's +1 HP to all of that? Oh, it's only +1 HP. I thought it was quite a bit more than that. Okay. So we open. We want to try to debuff that if we can. Also try knocking this one into the water. Okay, cool. Ooh, I think I was actually supposed to use this guy to attack him, wasn't I? Because I don't have any other way to reach him without shooting my building. Right? So it says I can't shoot when I'm in water. Turn on grid coordinates? Sure. Why, what does that do? Oh, so you can discuss and hide? Sure. Okay, well this thing is deadzo. I don't think I have any way to save it. Because I can't shoot in the water. So I'll wait for it to move on its next turn, and then I'll try to move it around. Ouch. Working on it, Ralph, sorry. I regret everything. Okay, so first things first, let's kill this thing. Perfect. You can force them to attack each other, which is kind of awesome. I'm just going to do damage and then nothing else will happen. I really like that web from like a encounter design space perspective. It makes things a lot more complicated in a way that's pretty elegant. So presumably getting pushed breaks the web. It would make sense. I'm not gonna have enough damage to save all my buildings here, unfortunately. Because if I knock this thing back, it's just gonna attack that building, and then we're in bad news bears. So we're gonna lose a building here basically no matter what, unfortunately. And is there always a perfect solution to each of these stages? I assume so, right? I guess if I'd... Well, no, I think if I'd upgraded movement, I could maybe save a building. Okay, so we lose another building, but what are you gonna do? Tried. Ouch. Huh. I wonder what the role of webbing a building is. Surprising. Let's see. There's not always a perfect solution. I actually want to move him here first. It's one way to wash the Vec away. Teach it to attack a water-dominated planet. And I can't get to this one at all, unfortunately. So I'm going to lose 2 more buildings, which might actually be game over at this point. I can't get to that one either, can I? I see. They put the power grid in the game to still have power without a perfect solution. M. Night Shyamalan. So each destroyed building, if it deals 1 damage, counts as 1 power grid point. Cool. Mech reactor. Piloted mech reactor increases by 1. Okay. As you secure regions and complete bonus objectives, your reputation with the local corporation will increase. You can spend reputation on supplies at the end of the island. Nice. So he can potentially get dashed now because he got 1 point automatically as a result of his pilot XP. And what causes him to earn pilot XP? Just participating in the mission and doing things on his turn? Talent with taking dash, that sounds good. This would be a good game to put a queue for people to name characters, but since we're only playing for an hour today, we'll maybe reserve that for when it is on for longer. Don't kill the volatile Vec, protect the coal plant. Well, I definitely need more energy, so we'll give Retrospect Park an attempt here. The volatile Vec detonate on death, drive it away. For safety's sake, don't let it explode. Okay, cool. It doesn't spawn at the beginning of the mission. It's good to know. Environmental kills give XP to everyone, like knocking something in the water. Gotcha. Okay. So, what we want to do... Try knocking them away there. Now, when it's webbing a building, does that protect it from being knocked back? Does that consume a knockback, basically? I'm trying to figure out why it would web a building in the first place. Oh, like the lightning strike. Or the, you mean the, airstrike. Don't let this Vec die. Okay. Dies if it takes too much damage. So it's also bad if it falls in water, basically. Does not break. Okay. So the web does not consume a push movement. Thought it might. So we want to try to push it when possible without dealing damage to it in the future. Gotcha. That's a really neat element to explore. I like it. So we could potentially knock it into this one, which isn't enough to kill it. Decide where I want to move things here. And it'll dash the full way there, I see. But I can move and then do that, I guess. But the goal would be to push him into there, but I can't move far enough to make that happen, unfortunately. He's only trying to attack me. This is pretty dangerous all around, isn't it? I love the pushing mechanic. Like, the whole game is built around it, and it's very clever. Push that enemy away. Does 1 damage. If that's correct. They web a building in the first turn because the AI is stupid. It makes sense because you'll finish five or six in 1 turn. If they could choose a perfect turn, you would die. I see. Well, I'm going to die this turn then because I don't think I can... I'm going to take 2 hits from these 2 and I can't knock them both away. I think I just came into this level with not enough resources, unfortunately. Yeah, GG. Oh well. And then kaboom. Grid is collapsing. The island's lost. Game over. Oh, that's a really awesome game over screen. Initiate the breach. Cool. This game is really rad. Select a pilot to continue the fight in your next timeline. Oh, that's a nice way to do the roguelite element. So I think we want it to be Ralph since he has the highest XP. That's smart. Drown 3 enemies in water in a single battle. Kill an enemy 5 more tiles away with a dash punch. Achievements can earn you coins to unlock new mech squads. Okay. And I have 1 coin from the achievement I just did. Gotcha. This game is super cool. So I can do the dash punch and I can complete the first corporate island. Some other squads emphasize pushing. Yeah. It's a really simple exploration of the design space. I like it very much. Alright, we'll try it again. Got another 20 minutes here. If you're new to the stream, I'm Marstead. I'm trying to beat every awesome game ever made. I believe that there's so many awesome games out there, it's impossible for any one person to play them all, let alone beat them. That means we will never run out. If you'd like to see a list of all the games we played so far, you can go to games.marstead.com. It's a database of every VOD we've ever recorded on YouTube, and you can also vote for the next awesome game. If you click on the voting tab at the bottom of that spreadsheet. But if you're just hanging out or lurking, that's totally cool. Welcome, it's good to have you. Let's go. Okay, so I think I get it now. He should already have the dash punch, or do I have to establish it at the beginning of each? Well, okay, he wouldn't be able to have it because he only has 1 floating point, which I need to get another floating point to be able to upgrade it. Yeah, the timeline mechanic's awesome. Big fan. Yay, stupid AI. Now, what's the order of operations? Does the AI get to attack before it gets hit by the airstrike? Or does the airstrike happen at the start of the turn? Because I guess that'll affect my decision here. Ooh, that makes that more complicated, doesn't it? So now there's a fiery forest that will damage my tank if I move into it. I guess I can eat 1 point of damage. It's not so bad. I like how simple it is just having to worry about things like that. I'm gonna wait to make my decision. Does anyone know the order of operations? Does the airstrike happen first? Oh, you can spend a turn repairing your mech? Okay. And that's free, it just is the opportunity cost of spending a turn on it, basically. Oh, it shows me the order. Thanks, Cam. Appreciate that. Environment, enemy actions, enemies emerge. Okay, so that one will die. I don't have to worry about it. Gotcha. Enemy mech is on fire. Take 1 damage every turn. Can't attack the same turn they repair. Okay. Perfect information in the game. No kidding. It's pretty swell. Block Vec spawning 3 times. Or that I take damage when I do that, right? If I block Vec. Alright, that one's gonna die. Oh, but now it's gonna die, but it still is attacking him. Sure. Bring him closer, I think. Gotcha. Oh, if I knock him back, though, he's gonna hit a wall, which would be very bad for me. Let's see. Let's head him up and repair. I guess I can go and block one from spawning to try to get that XP. Repair 1 damage, remove fire, ice, and acid. Gotcha. He'll die in the next turn regardless. Flat cannon still hasn't moved. I guess he hasn't acted. Oh wait, I thought repairing used up a turn. Did I do something wrong? Oh, you can repair it. Okay, I understand now. Gotcha. You have to confirm it, and you can repair an adjacent unit, or maybe that's an ability that later units unlock. Gotcha. We don't have any way to get them in there this time. So, let's see. If I knock both of those guys back, it should be good. Cool. Let's try to go here to block another one from spawning for the achievement. And I'll have to repair him another step after that. And he got destroyed because he got knocked into a mountain. Cool. There's lots of different endings. I really like that time travel mechanic. It's very clever. This game is very smart. It's not actually perfect information because you don't know which kind of Vec will spawn and you have a random resist chance. Oh, there's a resist chance element? Okay. Does it at least project the resist chance to you? Like, does it say you have a 50% chance so that you can make a determination about whether it's worth using it or not? Let's see. Back. Yeah, it's certainly like, so when I say perfect information, I should be clear. On the on the spectrum of a game that tells you nothing and a game that gives you as much information to make an informed decision as possible, this game is much closer to the most informed decision possible than it is to a game that tells you nothing. Whether it's truly perfect or not, like on the level of chess or something. There's very little randomness, basically, which is cool. I don't think we want to damage that at all. I can try to finish this guy off. Let's try that. Talking about in the context of a single turn, you know that if you do X, Y will happen. Telling you what the aliens will do. Yeah, I can see that. 120% perfect information. Yeah, exactly. So I know exactly what's going to happen as a result of the turn progressing once I gain control. I guess I don't know what's going to happen next turn, but I know what the aliens are going to do, and I can plan out exactly what I want to do without having to worry about RNG. Right. So I would agree with you on that prop. Cheers for the Riftwalkers. And we did the bonus objective. Gotcha. Cool. Okay, so he technically has a power available. I see. They're saying I could give him one of these things, basically. I think I want to hold out for the dash. It's more, Now I have to cover the whole island to finish the level, right? Defend the satellite launches. Defend the first launch, defend the second launch. It's definitely asymmetrical in the respect that I know what the monsters are going to do and they don't have any information about what I'm going to do. Oh, I don't have to complete the whole island? I just have to get to the other side of the island, basically. Let's try to kill the thing buffing them first. Can redirect power. Oh, and a few areas are always lost. Interesting. Let's see. I can knock him onto the place where the enemies are going to spawn and take damage there, right? I think I've just sacrificed, because no matter where I knock this thing... Now, if I had the upgrade that made it so it doesn't do damage to buildings, I could save the building. I understand. Okay. Actually, when does the fire happen? Fire damage happens first. Beauty, I didn't even think about that. That's beautiful. You know what the aliens do because you're a time traveler? It's even explained in the story. Oh, that's cool. No, I didn't really think about it being working from a flavor perspective in addition to a mechanics perspective. That's very clever. Oh, I see. The satellite's going to launch and kill whatever's in those squares. Gotcha. Which means I have to be careful. Okay. Oh, but it's going to knock him into the... Let's see. So if I can do a point of damage to him first... Let's see. And then he'll blow up on his turn without actually damaging anybody. So I shouldn't have moved this guy, basically, but it's too late now. That's okay. Made worse decisions. And this thing will just do nothing on its turn. I guess I can have him repair, that's not a waste. Gotcha. I'll try to block one of these things from spawning. Oh, I see. The attack order has these happening before the launch happens. Gotcha. Blocked enemy. Okay, so who all can move where? Not really far enough to be able to knock anybody under the water, which was my goal. This thing being dead might allow for that. I think it's a higher priority to save my buildings. Then he'll die to the fire, right? So I can't really do anything productive from either of these ranks. I guess I could maybe knock him back a little bit, but that doesn't really win me anything for next turn. I guess it puts him into range of the satellite, but he's presumably going to move on his turn, so that doesn't really matter. And I can't knock this guy back because it's too far, it's too close to trigger it. This game is very cool. It is way up my alley. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can do that's immediately productive. Because I could set the forest on fire, but that doesn't really accomplish much. See a beneficial move I could make. I'm trying to think. From this square, I can hit here, which knocks somebody back, but doesn't actually solve anything. I'd like to be able to knock him here or into the water, but I can't do either. If I stay here, I'm in trouble. I could move here to absorb the thing from spawning. Oh, and then I could knock him into the water. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, but he's flying. My bad. Well, that's fine. I forgot. Remember next time. I think the only one that does a decent amount of damage really is the melee guy, which makes sense. Balances melee pretty smartly. Okay, so he's gonna blow up on his turn, but he's gonna get to attack before NPC action. I like that it labels it very clearly. This thing hits for 1 only? Okay, so that's manageable. But you don't have to blow him up. Try moving him first, though. Let's do that. Kaboom! And I can knock him into his ally. So he'll get hit by that. I don't want to do that, though. I guess I'll just repair him this turn. If you want to put this on the voting spreadsheet or find another way to get me to finish it, that'd be cool. I really like it so far. Blocking the enemy from spawning was helpful there, because that was the last round. Cool. Good amount of reputation. Now, it'll tell me if I can get a reactor core from a mission, right? Check the emergency batteries. Defensive shields active. It's true. Old Earth mine. Any units that stop in this space will trigger the mine and be killed. That's cool. That's mostly for me to take advantage of, I guess. Time pods are random. Like every round there's a chance of one spawning. That has just happened. Enemies won't mess with time pods intentionally, like they won't go out of their way to target them. I like the bubbles too, it's very clever. There's a lot to be done with that. Okay, so I think I can save everybody, I think. Do mines still kill flying enemies or only ground enemies? Okay, looks like I just answered my own question. I think I want to take that thing that makes them do no damage to buildings. That seems really good. Oh, I actually don't want to do this because it's going to be safe here. Shit. Okay. Guess I'll block something from spawning then. Seeing a higher value and doing that. You never had a pod mess with on the turn that it spawns. That makes sense. Okay. So here, if we knock this guy into a mine, then he's on fire. We can kill him next turn regardless. Which I think we want to do. Go ahead and repair. Being on fire doesn't really matter because we're about to kill him. Sounds good. I guess blocking him from spawning could result in a bad time if you then have a bunch of enemies to deal with on the next turn, don't you? Sorry, I'm checking my phone here. Okay, let's see. This is the thing that's in the most danger. I guess this actually. Could move here and absorb part of the damage. I'll have to eat when I knock him into the... actually, no, that's harder than I thought it would be. I don't think there's a perfect solution here, to be honest. Oh, maybe, actually. I could get further onto this rank. I could knock him back safely and have him hit a... this. And I can still move him here to protect that one. And then he's still using a ranged attack, but he's okay. And this thing gets knocked back a square. Cool. And that's time for Into the Breach. Thank you for sharing this. I really, really like it, Leon. And we'll be back in a few minutes with the last game for today, which is Little Nightmares. See you soon.